All right, as you guys know, I'm not a financial advisor. Neil, I can't speak for him, but we have Neil on the phone. He is a subscriber of mine, and I think that we could all, take some knowledge in from him. Neil, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Hi, yes, my name's Neil Prestridge. I spent a lot of years in the military, got into finance with an MBA when I was working at the Pentagon, and started working with small businesses in order to get them government contracts. That grew so exponentially, I actually started a hedge fund and wound up hiring some very good people who made us a lot of money. We were giving our guys 20%, our different companies that we were, whose funds we were holding. Any rate, I was just starting my, well, let me back up one. I sold that company a year or two ago. I am retired.
Mm-hmm.
This is I get online and I try and help, but I do that more out of fun because I enjoy the market.
Oh, okay.
And if I can pass on something that might help someone, that's great. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. I'm just kind of a low key guy.
Yeah.
Uh,
No, I mean, I enjoy the market, so I get it.
yeah. So at any rate, as I was saying, I just started my DD on sint, and when I actually start looking, just as a cursory first step, I go to naked short report. I
Okay.
want to see who is controlling the prices.
Uh huh. And
And
what exactly are you looking for on Naked Short Report? Just so everybody here knows.
okay, when I look at naked short report,
Mm-hmm.
I look at the percentage of naked shorts across the month
Okay, across the entire
and
month.
just kind of get a rough order of magnitude uh, percentage of those naked shorts.
Uh huh.
When it's around 50 or so, then I know the shorts are in control of the price.
Uh huh.
So I'm very hesitant to do anything except uh, just a scalping sort of play. In other words, look at that low and then buy that big open or that afternoon open whenever they send it up,
Mm-hmm.
and then sell it there. It's in this market, we I'm actually expecting the market to continue to drop over the next 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, and I just looking at it from a whole, and the current policies in effect.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there is very little a company can do to get up because everyone wants to make their money on the short side
Uh huh.
because strictly because it's easy to do that. All right.
Okay.
It's costly to set up because you have to have it all computerized,
Uh huh.
but it's just the easy way. And as you've stated plenty of times, there's so many lazy people out there, they just want to do things easy.
Yeah. No. Absolutely. Absolutely. I understand that. Now, let me ask
Okay.
you this: if you think that it's going to go down over the next 2 years, right?
Yes.
What type of like sectors would you be looking at?
Once again, I would have to look at the news.
Okay.
Doing everything that you guys are doing, and that's why I'm sitting here with you.
I appreciate that compliment.
It's the way you're doing it and how you're doing it is the way you're going to be able to make money in this market. I will tell you, if you're bought in at these low prices,
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be very rich when it does its turnaround.
So you do agree with me on the fact that some of these things are coming down to levels where they're coming down below fundamental value, right?
Far below that, and that's one of the reasons I look at the shorts. The shorts are just driving these small and mid-cap companies
Mm-hmm.
to nothing, just because they can, and the SEC really isn't looking at them. When you get down below, $10,
Mm-hmm.
the SEC doesn't look at you that much. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're down below $1,
Mm-hmm.
you're not even on their radar.
Okay.
So it's a free market. I mean, when you're looking at naked shorts,
Mm-hmm.
I mean those are fake short. I mean fake shares,
Okay.
and they're allowed to do it because the SEC isn't looking at them.
Do you have any hope for the SEC to, I guess maybe like reverse their course because of the outrage by the amount of retail that is poured into the market, or do you think that they're just gonna keep going on their merry way?
I think what's going to happen is Congress and all these guys are going to have a lot of press type congressional meetings.
Uh-huh.
And once again, do absolutely nothing because they're making a ton of money
Mm-hmm.
from these big corporations
Mm-hmm.
who are feeding them the information.
Okay.
The SEC to me is the fox guarding the hen house.
Okay.
Because when you look at board members or members now who were board members of major corporations,
Uh-huh.
you will see that there's a lot of interplay there. It's the golf course buddies.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what I find bothersome is those people can go ahead and have dinners together, like you said. They go play golf together. But the second that retail has a conversation together, you got to worry about collusion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's a big conspiracy, and it's all driven that way to give the perception that they're doing things.
Absolutely. Do you have any kind of feeling about all these reverse splits that are happening, or do you think that they're just happening because of being brought down by the shorts?
That's the number one key to me. Is the number one key item that's driving those guys down. Part of me thinks that why are you worried about being delisted?
Uh-huh.
If all of these companies just said, screw it, we'll get delisted. We'll go trade OTC.
Yeah.
And, you'll see a lot of stoppage by these companies in the shorting because it limits what they can do. As well as I, when they come in and short something down, you go over and start looking at the options and see what's going on there.
Yeah, I'm always looking at the Greeks. You're right.
Right. So I mean, they're playing both sides of the coin on that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That and now, would you say that they're selling like a bunch of calls and jacking up the IVs and then grinding them sideways?
You, that's what I see. I mean, you don't see anyone buying the puts.
I've been noticing that a lot. One thing that I want to go ahead and I want to I do want to. Somebody asked about something about financial advice. And you did say that that you did own a hedge fund. Do you have a Series 7, a Series 65?
I have a series. Yes, I do. I
Okay.
am authorized to provide financial information and to be a broker for you and all of those things. I'm limited by a non-disclosure agreement with the company I sold to,
Okay.
and
Okay.
as to what I can do.
Yeah. Well, I was just making
My
sure from from a like an informational standpoint. I just wanted to clarify for everybody listening.
So what's the question again, John?
No. I just wanted to first clarify. Obviously that you like your certifications and make sure that obviously you had your Series 7 and things of that nature. But what I really wanted to touch on, if you're open to it, is the plumbing on, say, for instance, sint. Um, so SINT, they recently did a reverse split, okay, of 100 to 1, okay, or 1 to 100, excuse me.
That sounds about right for
Okay.
a penny stock.
Yeah. So yeah, they were they were trading, they were trading dirt cheap. Now, here's their float. I don't know if you're looking at my screen, but here's what Ortex is reading, okay? And this is what makes it appealing to me. Now, their cat.
Okay, hang on one, but
No, it's okay. Take your
let,
time.
let me open my laptop again. I had to close it because we were back feeding.
Oh yeah. If you could just turn your volume off, that way we don't echo. That'd be perfect. Um, but what I'm seeing is I'm seeing a $4.4 million market cap. I'm seeing a shares outstanding of under 100 or 520,000 shares. Okay. I'm seeing a $4.4 million market cap. Oh, I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Okay, got the volume. All right, perfect. So I'm seeing the market cap at 4.4, and I'm seeing the float at 518, almost 519. Okay. Okay, got the volume. All right, perfect. So I'm seeing
Sorry, I hit.
4.4, and I'm seeing.
There we go.
You good? Okay. Now I'm seeing 99% utilization, and I'm seeing over here 973% short on the float. Now I'm assuming that this has not gone through the like the 100 to 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and just move some decimal points over, right, and say that's 9.7 short, right? But what bothers me is the cost to borrow is reading as 855% short, or not short, cost to borrow average, excuse me, which is pretty expensive, obviously, right? And then from what I could gather, I can't find any available shares to put out on loan at anymore. There were, and then now obviously they ran dry. So I'm just wondering, what your thoughts are on the market plumbing there.
Yeah, I'm running that down now. I think with anytime I see a reverse split,
Uh-huh.
I see an opportunity for the shorts to short it more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I always look at that naked short report.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In today's market, that has been the number one item I check on my DD list.
Okay. Okay.
right? Because if the shorts are in control of the price of the item,
Uh-huh.
then you have it's just going to continue going, and all you can do is play what the shorts are doing.
Yeah, it's just playing at their mercy, it sounds like. And
Well, no, the guys they are cyclical,
mm-hmm.
so you can see when they drop it,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, when they're covering is when you want to buy it.
Now let me ask you
Yep.
this. Let me ask you this: Is it now from what I've noticed on charts, and this is my perception, and I may be wrong, and this is why I'm certainly asking you. When I'm seeing something get hit very very hard, right? But I'm not seeing the turnover move at all, right? Would you consider that a short, or would you consider that like a legitimate sell? Because I was considering it, just them almost bloating the float as opposed to turning over legitimate shares.
Yeah. Well, see, what you're being shown there is the legit shares.
Oh,
You're
okay.
not being shown those naked shares.
But what about legitimate shorts though?
I mean, well, that was what I was referring
Oh,
to as the short part of it.
okay.
Those are the legit shorts. That's me calling Fidelity and paying my 8% per year to borrow shares to short.
Okay. All right. So I'm not wrong about that. Okay. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Now,
And for the record, I'm on the same sheet of music as you. Just out of principle, I refuse to short something unless it's in a stock that is a short stock. As an example, let's say oil has gush for it to go up and dust for it to go down. I will buy that short stock,
expecting from the cover.
but I'm not going to borrow shares to short someone.
Okay.
To me, shorts are a bunch of lowlifes.
I'm sure that a lot of retail agrees with you, including myself.
That's just me from a principle standpoint. Yes, is there a lot of money to be made shorting? Absolutely. Do you want to pay the amount of money and have that you're required, that you're going to or need, I should say, in order to short something? You know how it works, but it's not as easy as a lot of people think. You have to be coordinated with the big guys who are shorting.
Okay, all right. So your belief then, it sounds like, is that a lot of these guys are in contact and obviously manipulating. I don't want to accuse anybody of anything, of course. You know what I mean, or make any kind of like false accusations. But I mean, in theory, it seems to be as if more than one entity is working together, right?
Well, let me give you an example. In the OTC, okay, and that is the Wild Wild West.
Okay.
There is a guy we call Timmy the Trader. All right, he's one of those guys you pay to come to his site. They all work together and come in on, like, say, one or two companies and short them for the week.
And then
they make it look, and the price is going up, and for some reason the average market buyer, when they see the price go up, they want to buy.
Yeah.
And the higher it goes, the more they want to buy it at the higher price.
FOMO.
Because it's a rocket ship, guys. It's going off. It's going everywhere. look at all the comments out there on the stock Twitch, yada 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 yada. All right.
Yeah.
Then when it gets up there, they drop the rug on you.
It sounds like you're explaining to buy the dip and sell the rip.
That's exactly it. And that's how you what I call short to shorts.
Short to short. I like that. Short to shorts. I might have to start using that if you don't mind.
Okay, I'm easy. You know me. I'm like a quarter hooker when everyone's carrying 50-cent piece.
So how do you? So back to sint real quick, okay? Just because I personally disclaimer, I'm long, okay. They have a multi-year DARPA contract, okay. I'll actually pull it up on screen. So they have a multi-year DARPA contract, and then they also have and it's for coatings for turbine engines, okay. And then and that's right up your alley because I know that you are an aviator.
Listen, I've been in DARPA more times than Carter's got liver pills.
And then they also got another contract just on the 21st, okay, right after their reverse split from the Missile Defense Agency for electrochemical machining.
Okay.
So it seems like they're for a company that's only worth $4.4 million. Not only did they just acquire another company that's actually already profitable, but then they're also receiving government contracts. Now, their float is only 520,000, approximately. You know what I mean? With no shares available. I mean, what are your thoughts on on the plumbing situation of that, though?
Yeah, what you've got to look at, what are those contracts for? I mean, how much are they for? And are they for just your everyday contractor to come in and do something?
Mm-hmm.
Or are they for them to build something?
So the first one is to, I guess, to be able to handle up to 3,100 degrees Fahrenheit. For I would assume for jet engines.
Okay, you're talking the advanced ceramics.
Yes.
Advanced ceramic coating for a turbine blade.
Yes, sir.
And so that is just a standard contract, and 1.5 million is
it's not much. Yeah, no. I agree.
Twice about that.
I agree. I agree.
It's look at all the totals. If it comes up to 100 million, okay, raise an eyebrow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I probably shouldn't be looking so much into the government contracts. One thing I did like was that they made that acquisition, and the acquisition is already a profitable company, as well.
Yes, and now is that company another contracting company?
They're working with them, yes, and they're working with them under the new contract, yes.
Yeah, the contracting companies get bought and sold every day in DC.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I mean they're a dime a dozen.
Okay.
I've worked for 2 different contracting companies that were bought out.
Okay.
All right. In fact, the reason I quit working at the Pentagon is when they turned around and said, "Well, we can only pay you $100K a year," which is less than half of what I was making. So I had to say goodbye.
No, I hear you. I mean, especially if you're operating your own hedge fund. I'm sure you're doing a heck of a lot more than that, right?
Well, that's what drove me out to do that.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Now, Now I'm getting a couple questions from chat, and if it's okay, I'd like to ask you, maybe one or two. First and foremost, what stock, if any, right, would you think would be the most manipulated in the entire market?
You could take a shotgun and hit and let both barrels go at the backside of the barn, and you'll always hit one.
So do you think it's really that widespread? Because I mean, I have my own beliefs, but I mean, I'd love to hear it from you.
Yeah, well, I know it's widespread. I mean, you can look at it. And like I said, that's why naked shorts is my number one go-to item when I start looking things up. In fact, after looking at at this company, was it Gent?
Mm-hmm.
I think I would buy in at 8.
It's on Sint. Is that what you're saying? You'd buy in at 8?
Yeah, I think I would buy in at 8.
Okay, all right. That's near my average, so I'm okay with that.
Right, but I would sell about 9 or so.
It's at 8. See, it's at 8.94 right this second, right? And yep. I'm just I'm really liking the plumbing on it, but
what was the high today though?
The high today was 9.62.
Yeah, and that's why I would say I would sell in the 9s.
So sell in the 9s. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. And then buy that next dip.
And then buy the next dip, and what? Dip. Rinse, repeat.
Say again.
And then what? Rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my what I call shorting the short.
Shorting the short.
You're buying their coverage
mm-hmm.
and selling their cells.
Okay.
And when you're doing that on top of them, you are actually trying to think of the best phrasing for it, but you're actually doing exact reverse of what they're doing and making what they are making.
Okay, all right.
But you didn't have to go out and borrow shares nor anything else in order to do that.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
Now,
and if you sit and watch these companies, their movements are cyclical, and all the short numbers are the same in that grouping. I look at level 2
mm-hmm.
is my next step, and I look for those FINY sells and buys.
I gotcha.
That tells me naked shorts are going in.
Okay. Now, let me ask you, and I don't have too many more questions for you, but one question is do you think, and obviously this is not factually based, it's just your opinion, okay? Is it your opinion that a lot of these regulators are aware and potentially complicit in allowing some of this stuff to be happening?
I can't say yes nor no.
Fair enough.
I would have to give the standard Washington reply on that one. I have no knowledge whether they are or are not, but it looks as if they're turning a blind eye.
Okay, I respect that, and I'm grateful for your answer. And I believe that my last question would be from a viewer here. Now, it seems like like a lot of these agencies are whether it be like I don't know, the SEC, the DTCC, the FDIC, all the couple letter agencies, they're all just flooding, all of these different rules, all of a sudden into like the Federal Registry and things of that nature, right? Do you think that is kind of, leading to something? Or do you, do you think that they're trying to protect themselves in some way, shape, or form from something that may happen?
I think it is more of a self-protection.
Okay. So like a cover their behind.
It's so they can turn around and say, well, we did something.
No, that makes sense. Awesome. I'm very, very grateful. Oh, you know what? I actually have one question that I think would be very, very beneficial to everybody in here, actually, that hears this. So, I don't know if you're familiar with the AMC and APE situation, right? But APE was a preferred dividend, or not a. They did a dividend preferred, right? And it was supposed to be 1-to-1, but APE was able to be diluted. Okay, now the thing is that if there is a corporate action, meaning a reverse split, an acquisition, whatever, right? That the APE shares would then go 1-to-1 with AMC. Okay? Now, with that being said, APE is currently trading at $1.51, okay? And AMC is at $4.08, okay? Now, they did go ahead and they did discuss going ahead and putting forth a 10-to-1 reverse split, right? Which, in my opinion, would constitute a corporate action, right? So, in your opinion, does would that have APE coming up to AMC, or like therefore having AMC and then APE meet in the middle somewhere?
It could go either way.
Okay.
I'll be candid with you. The last time I bought AMC, they were at 44 a share.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear that. I was just thinking about it from maybe like a technical side, just because of the corporate action and the 1-to-1. Obviously a reverse split.
I think your preferred shares are going to have the advantage.
So the preferred share. You think that the preferred shares will have the advantage? I also agree with you, but that is great to hear from somebody else, and I just wanted to confirm my bias. Thank you very much. You know what? I keep saying last question, but have you ever taken a look at the AMC 1 contracts? Like the AMC, it's here. I'll pull them up on screen real quick. So, for instance, now I'm not telling anyone to buy this to do anything. I'm showing Neil. So then obviously we could discuss it. So I'm pulling up the option chain. But you see these AMC ones, the non-standardized options.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say that. So I clicked on AMC ones, right? I'm on the call side, right? So an option right there would be the the last was 171, okay, for a 5. Now, this being an AMC 1 rather than just an AMC would include, if you were to exercise it, it would include APE and it would include AMC. On a, obviously, you'd get 100 of each, right?
Right.
Do you see an advantage to the AMC ones as opposed to, say, just an AMC then, obviously?
I think, I'm trying to do the calculations in my mind here versus on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking those AMC ones might be your best bet.
Really? Okay. Okay.
It's if you're gonna run the options, then that looks like it might be the best bet.
Okay, so you think that Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But face it, when you get into those option chains, very few people actually keep them through fruition,
Mm-hmm.
and and get the shares.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the people I know actually, if they didn't write the options themselves,
Mm-hmm.
bought and sold them when the with the price fluctuation.
Oh, see, that's what I usually do myself. I usually sell premiums, like, or not sell premium. I'll buy an option and then just flip it at the higher premium. And that's usually how I run things. However, in the circumstance of like in AMC1, right? If they do say a reverse split, right, and AMC goes into the money at say like a $5, right? I could go ahead and I could exercise, and at that point of me exercising on an AMC1, I should therefore then receive, in theory, of course, I should receive for $500. I should receive 100 AMC and then 100 APE as well, right? And I told you APE was trading at like what 140 something, right? So I'm just seeing like a disparage in price there, and a way to take advantage of obviously the current market. I guess I just want to confirm my bias.
Well, I mean, I concur with your thought train on that.
Okay.
It's once again, not having set spent the amount of time that you have on it. I would, that's just off the top of my head.
Okay.
So, for me to give a really intellectual finding on it, like here's a white paper.
Yeah.
I would have to spend some time really looking at it and doing the what you call knee in the curve analysis.
Honestly, it's great to hear your opinion on it. You've confirmed what I believe to be a bias that I had about the ape shares. In theory, of course, I don't want to lock you down and say for sure.
Yeah.
But it just seems like the preferred are like it says it right in the name, preferred. You know what I mean? And if they're gonna go 1-to-1, then theoretically, they're almost $3, $3 difference. That just seems like a very large come up. So that's what's kind of going through my mind. So I'm very, very happy to hear that you are on the same page as I.
Yeah.
But
go
ahead.
And I'll tell you, just I guess as a closure sort of thing.
Okay.
My recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't tell people how to do it or how to do, but my recommendation would be to, as far as the play now and for the next several years,
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be shorting the shorts.
Shorting the shorts. Okay, so buying the dips and selling the rips. You're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
that's your money, and then once this gets towards the end, okay, you may find big companies like Tesla are still buys because they're going up, especially since Elon's announced his cell phone thoughts that may actually help their price in the future. But as in this market, what I'm seeing for that average trader sitting there with their limited resources and limited time ability, it's just buying the dip, selling that rip, and look at how they do it on a day-to-day basis and be ready to react if it's going north or south. And that's one reason I look at the level 2 all the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Because you can see it go red right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's faster than the 1 minute. You're getting the 1 second.
Yeah, you know, people bust me for watching a 1 minute chart, but I couldn't. Like, obviously, I'll go ahead and I'll scale back in order to go ahead and, you know, confirm my thesis. But I couldn't imagine not looking at a 1 minute chart.
Yeah, you're the only other person I knew that would look at one. I always look at a 1 minute chart.
Yeah, it seems easy. It seems a lot quicker in order to go ahead and read a trend, right?
Yeah. If you're actively trading, you need to be on a 1 minute, and you need to be looking at level 2.
Thank you very much for your time, Neil. I don't want to take up much, any more of your time. You have been a great help to retail in my community, as well as now that now that we did like a little interview here. Hopefully, other communities as well. And I just want to thank you for your time, Neil.
Hey, I appreciate it. You guys try not to have too much fun now.
We're going to be shorting the shorts now.
Okay, great. Thanks, man. Take care, bud.
All right, have a great day, Neil. Thanks.
Bye.
That was Neil, everybody. Again, he used to own his own hedge fund. He is he does have a Series 7. He has all the certifications, and those are his thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this, but I am live, so come and hang out.